Hello and welcome. First, let me say congratulations on your admission to the College of Natural Sciences as a graduate student. I think you're about to embark on an incredible opportunity. I also want to say thank you for serving as a teaching assistant this next year for our undergraduate students. My name is Mike Rainey. I'm the Assistant Dean in the College for Undergraduate Education, Advising, and Student Services. I would like to talk with you about 5 what I consider to be very important issues with undergraduate students. The first issue is the privacy of student records. There's a federal law called FERPA, the Federal Education Rights Privacy Act, and it's imperative that you are very, very careful with student records and student grades. So for example, if students in your class take a midterm and you would like to share the grades with them, be sure that you do it on a post it on a secure website, and that you don't post it where people can see it, and that you don't connect grades with anything that identifies a student. This is really important. Also, never share grades or academic information with anybody other than the professor that oversees the course, or if somebody from the dean's office contacts you for academic information. The second thing I'd like to talk with you about is what we call non-academics. We live in a really interesting time. The students that are here at UT are, for the most part, very, very bright, very hardworking, very dedicated, and great students. Some of them, however, struggle with non-academic issues. As we all know, life happens. Oftentimes we have students who run into financial problems, or maybe family problems, or medical issues, or occasionally mental health issues. One of the things that's really interesting is that the College of Natural Sciences currently accounts for about 29% of all undergraduate students at UT, but the visits to the counseling center are currently running at about 36% of all the visits are from natural sciences students. This is for several reasons. One, the College of Natural Sciences has a lot of students who want to go to medical school, and there's a great deal of pressure on these students, self-imposed or otherwise, to get really good grades and to do really well in school. So they feel a lot of anxiety, a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and they're very tense often about grades. We also have a lot of programs in our college, like computer sciences, for example, that are very competitive to get into. And once you're in them, you have to do well to stay in. So there's a lot of pressure, stress, anxiety there as well. And something that's really interesting, students are coming into college right now with all-time high levels of self-esteem. But at the same time, while they have these really high levels of self-esteem, they are reporting all-time low levels of self-compassion. So in other words, they think highly of themselves, but they're really hard on themselves when things don't go well. And as you probably remember, your first year of college, you have to make a transition. Things sometimes don't go well. Maybe you've done really well in high school, you come to UT, you make a C or a D or even fail the first quiz in biology or the first calculus test. Many times students don't know how to handle that. They've never experienced academic adversity, and it's a real difficult challenge for them. One of the things that's really important as a TA is that you're in the front line. Oftentimes you are the face of the course, or you're the first person, grown-up person, that the student will talk to or turn to. And so it's really important that you understand that these students are under a great deal of stress and pressure. They're looking to do well, and they're hardworking and dedicated. They may face academic adversity, they may struggle with non-academic issues. It's really important to be aware of that, to be looking for that. And if you ever do notice anybody who seems to be struggling, they don't seem to be themselves, or they seem to be out of it, or seem to be acting differently, please let us know. We have a care counselor in the college who's a licensed therapist that we can refer them to. We also have non-academic counselors in the college that can see them. You could refer them to me, the assistant dean, or you could refer them to one of our advisors, or you could also ask them to talk with a professor of the course. Whatever you decide to do, it's imperative that you also let the professor of the course know that you've made the referral, or at the very least, let the professor know about the student so they can make the referral. Okay. The third thing I would like to discuss with you, on occasion, when we're talking with students who may be struggling, there occasionally may be students who you're concerned about. If you ever are concerned about your safety, their safety, other students' safety, something seems strange, something doesn't seem right, a red flag goes off for you, and there's just an uncomfortable feeling, be sure and call BCAL. This is the Behavioral Concerns Hotline. They will dispense professionals and/or the UT Police Department if the situation warrants. And they will call the student, they will talk to the student, they will call the student in, or they will reach out to the student and try to help them. This does happen on occasion. The best advice I can give you is to be calm and be professional. Make sure that nobody's going to be harmed, and do the referral as soon as you can. All right. I also want to mention, in addition to the stress, pressure, anxiety of trying to do well in the College of Natural Sciences with a very rigorous and demanding degree, there's also a lot of bureaucracy at the university. There's a lot of rules and regulations, and you may have students come ask you, I'm thinking about dropping this course. Am I able to? Can I? What's the deadline? It's very complicated. For example, dropping a class. A student can easily drop a class before it starts. They can just take it off their record. During the first 12 class days, if they want to drop, they just go online, drop it, and it never shows up. After the 12th class day, they can drop, but they get a Q drop. And then we go to the mid-semester, and they can't drop after that unless there's non-academic reasons. So you can see just in my brief explanation that dropping is not a simple thing. There's a lot of deadlines, dates, rules, and regulations. One of the things I'd like to ask you is to be really careful about the information you share with students. Always try to refer them to an advisor or to the dean's office if they have questions along these lines. We have had examples in the past where faculty members and TAs have shared information with students and it was incorrect, and then the students suffer. So for example, last year, a TA in a calculus class talked with a student, and after the student didn't do well on the second test, they wanted to drop, and the TA said, don't worry about it, hang in there, you'll get better, you can drop later. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't true. It was about a week before the drop deadline, and when the student finally decided, yes, I do want to drop, it was too late. And so we have to be really careful about the information, and keep in mind, it's very complicated, there's a lot of policies, there's a lot of rules and regulations, there's a lot of deadlines, and it's all your responsibility is to let students know that they need to talk to somebody who can help them. So do a referral to an advisor, to the dean's office. We will call them in, talk to them, and let them know how things work and how it all works. Thank you. The last thing I'd like to ask, if you would please consider, and this is really a big request from me, a favor, if you will, please be the teaching assistant you wanted and needed when you were in college. And by that, I mean be accessible. If you're holding office hours, if you have a discussion section, take it seriously, be there, try to help the students. If students reach out to you, please meet with them. Be the person that you needed and wanted when you were in college. Don't be the TA that's not accessible or that blows off things, that doesn't answer emails in a timely manner and doesn't help their students. It's very hypocritical to say one thing and do another. So for example, if you expect your students to meet deadlines, to be in class, to send emails by a certain time and to do certain things, then you should also have that same expectation of yourself. If you expect students to reply to your emails or to acknowledge your emails or to do something in a timely manner, then you should as well. And I know I sound like I'm preaching, but this is vitally important. We do have, on occasion, students who get caught up in trying to do the right thing, trying to meet a deadline, trying to send an email, and whoever's on the other end, whether it's an administrator in my office, an advisor, a TA, a professor, if they don't have the same standard for themselves that they have for students, it causes a lot of problems. So please be courteous and treat your students well and be the TA that you wanted and needed when you were in college. I hope that some of these things I've talked with you about today are helpful. If you ever have any questions about any of this, you need help with anything, if you need to refer a student or you need to reach out, my name is Mike Rainey. I'm the Assistant Dean. You can email me at mike.rainey, R-A-N-E-Y, at austin.utexas.edu, or you can call me at 512-471-4536. Again, thank you very much for listening. Please be kind and courteous and help our students. Be the TA that they need. Be the TA that you wanted when you were in college. Reach out to us if anything ever seems strange or unusual or you feel like you need help. And I hope you have a wonderful, great first semester at UT, and best wishes for you in your career in your graduate program here. Thank you.